Your top stories this evening brought to you by courts, bringing value home. Photographer Karen Bruce found guilty of cybercrime. PNCR sides with GTU in rejecting government 10% salary increase offer. Systems being put in place to stop gold smuggling in Guyana. And businessman nabbed with 6.3 grams of a controlled substance. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Paul Moore with the Friday, August 16, 2024 edition of the HGP Nightly News. At this hour, we will tell you that photographer Karen Bruce was on Friday found guilty of cybercrime. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Karen Bruce, a 37-year-old photographer of Suzdike Back Road, East Bank, Demerara, was charged with cybercrime offences over the social media cartoon character Mudwater. Bruce was on trial before Diamond Golden Grove magistrate Soon Scarce on accusation of being the person behind the social media cartoon character Mudwater, who, according to the police, has made slanderous publications about several persons contrary to the Cybercrime Act. It is alleged that on January 25, 2021, at Suzdike East Bank, Demerara, Bruce used a computer to disseminate information about journalist Leroy Smith, knowing same to be false. Police are alleging that the information subjected Smith to public ridicule, contempt, hatred, and embarrassment. At the conclusion of the trial on Friday, Magistrate Scarce ruled that the prosecution provided sufficient evidence against Bruce, and he was found guilty of the offense. Bruce was fined $3 million that has to be paid within 1 month. Failure to pay the fine in a stipulated time frame, Bruce will be sentenced to 6 months behind bars. In January of 2022, police arrested Bruce and several other persons on allegation of the cartoon character slandering persons. Police headquarters have said ranks have seized several pieces of equipment from the house at DD Echoes East Bank, Demerara, and several voice messages were also collected, which, when analyzed, matched with the Mudwater commentary, according to sources from the police headquarters. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Daisy Richards reports that more provisions to be introduced to prevent gold smuggling in Guyana, so says Minister of Natural Resources.
Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat on Wednesday at a press conference said that the ministry have always had gold smuggling in a tight grasp and it cannot be happening through the formal channel due to a very stringent process in place by his ministry.
What we do find out and what information is provided to us, we act on it. We act on it. That's what I can tell you for sure. If you ask me if gold is being smuggled through the formal channel out of Guyana, I would say no.
Bharat highlighted that with the strict gold exportation system and the numerous agencies and supervisors maintaining the process, it would be very difficult for people who would want to smuggle gold through the formal system and to conspire in any kind of illegal behavior.
Canoe and GRA and the gold board and everybody would go to the dealers and weigh the gold and seal it. And then all of them will have to go to the airport and re-verify again.
Adding that although gold isn't being smuggled through the legal channel, the ministry is planning to make advancements for the supervision of gold mining in the interior.
Now we're going to use drones, we're going to use body cam on our mines officers, because honestly, we have to depend on the human factor.
The minister added that if there is a leakage in the process of gold smuggling, the ministry is working to have the pattern of behavior eradicated. One action taken by the ministry was publishing a notice informing gold miners to desist from paying their employees in gold, a preventative measure that requires strict adherence. Gold paid to employees as compensation bypasses the Gold Board, which is the regulatory agency responsible for all gold decorations. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
6 Guyanese cyclists were invited to compete in the 33rd Tour de Celeste de Guyana, which will take place in French Guyana from August 17 to 25, 2024. The 9-stage race will feature teams from Suriname, French Guyana, France, Martinique, and Guadeloupe. The 6 cyclists have shown skill, dedication, which earned them positions among the Caribbean's best and will show Guyana's growing talent and competitive spirit within Guyana's cycling community. People's National Congress Reform PNCR sides with Guyana Teachers Union GTU for rejecting PPPC government's 10% salary increase. More in this report from Tiana Cole.
In a statement on Friday, the opposition said it fully support the Guyana Teachers Union GTU and all teachers in rejecting the PPP government's insulting proposal of 10% increase for 2024, 8% for 2025, and 9% for 2026. In a press release emanating from the PNCR, it stated that Jagdio's claim about the reason for the union's rejection of the 10% salary being the position of the GTU General Secretary, Coretta MacDonald, as an attempt to derail the union politically. The retort was that Vice President was politically hypocritical and comical. The PNCR reminded that it was the same Jagdio who called for teachers to be given a salary increase between 40% and 50% in 2018, while he served as opposition leader. In exchange for the union shelving its 2019 to 2023 request and agreeing to discuss from 2024 to 2026, the government is proposing a 10% increase for this year, an 8% increase for the following year, and a 9% increase for 2026. The GTU has been pressing for an increase of over 30%, but has indicated that teachers would accept an increase between 20% and 25%. However, Vice President Barrett Jagdio defended the government's 10% offer while accusing the GTU of following the lead of the political opposition in rejecting the offer. The VP accused the GTU General Secretary Coretta MacDonald of attempting to derail the union for political reasons.
We spend nearly $40 billion on wages and salaries for teachers per year. This here works out to it's about $4 billion, the 10%, and over the 3 years, when you look at it cumulatively, that will be about maybe just over 12%.
Jagdia added that the offer for the 3-year package is to increase wages and salaries alone,
leaving out the other adjustments that we are making.
Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
You're with the HGP TV Nightly News. More news after this break.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting's and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and heat.
Say goodbye to germs with a free Sterling Super Soap automatic dispenser. That's right, get free equipment and installation of our touch-free dispenser. The perfect amount of soap every time ensures clean and germ-free hands. Refilling is quick and easy with 4 amazing fragrances: coconut, sunflower sunrise, pink blossom, and citrus zest. Call us on 265-7403.
Krishna Roth Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Roth Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Businessman nabbed with 6.3 grams of a controlled substance, and Sophia laborer found guilty of possession of makeshift firearm. Daisy Richards reports.
Police officers on Thursday afternoon at Border Market, Merriman's Mall and North Road were conducting a cordon and search exercise between 15:30 and 1700 hours, where they stopped and searched several persons and stalls in the area. According to a police report, the areas that were searched are known as drug blocks, and businessman Yancy Garraway, 37, was on North Road when he was searched. And in his possession was a whitish powder-like substance in a transparent plastic bag that was suspected to be cocaine, along with $260,000 and $5 in his pants pockets. He was made aware of his offense, arrested, and taken to the Brookdam police station, where the cocaine was weighed and amounted to 6.3 grams. Meanwhile, in the wee hours of Friday morning, police officers from the Alberton police station, acting on a tip-off, proceeded to Pike Street, Sophia, where a street party was in progress. The police on arrival contacted laborer Anthony Bunbury, 24, of Block F, Sophia, and conducted a search on his person, where they found an improvised firearm and 3 9mm rounds of ammunition. Bunbury informed the police that he was not a holder of a firearm license when asked. He was then arrested and taken to the Alberton police station. Investigations are ongoing. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Government to sign off contract next month for Exxon's third cost recovery audit for 2021-24, according to Minister of Natural Resources. More in this report from Antonio Day.
Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat on Wednesday, during a press briefing, divulged that the government is on target regarding the contract signing of ExxonMobil's third cost recovery audit report for 2021 to 2023.
With regards to the third audit, I think we are well on course to ensure we sign that maybe in a month. In September, sir.
He told reporters at the media briefing held at the Forestry Commission's complex in Georgetown that the government is looking at adopting the same model as the second audit report, where the local consortium can partner with international entities. A request for proposals, RFP, was issued by the state back in February this year for consultants capable of conducting a cost recovery audit of ExxonMobil's expenses in the Stabroek block. The audit would also entail a validation of the state's share of profit oil for the period 2021 to 2023. Turning attention to the second audit for the period 2018 to 2020, Minister Barrett responded to concerns over costs being overstated in the document. Ramdial and Haynes Charter Accounting and Professional Services and firm Vitality Accounting and Consultancy, Inc. were among the Guyanese firms who collaborated with Martindale Consultants, Inc. and Swiss technical company, SGS, to conduct that audit. Barrett noted that the purpose of the audit was to look at whether ExxonMobil is engaging in double billing cost recovery activities, where expenses emanating from the Kanji and Kaitro blocks are being consolidated into the Stabroek cost bank.
The auditors should be commended for actually finding these inaccuracies and inconsistencies of seeing expenses incur in the Kanji and Kaitro block under the Stabroek cost bank. There is no final report as yet. So it simply means we will take that cost out of the cost bank before any final report is produced.
According to the minister, there is no way The government will accept expenses from Kanji and Kaichori in the Sabo Coast Bank. Antonio D reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Keller Williams, Guyana, in partnership with ALA Strategic and the Ghana Chamber of Commerce, Guyana, will be hosting the Connect Real Estate Mega Summit set to take place on September 6, 2024 at the Marriott Guyana in Georgetown. This landmark event will bring together leading real estate professionals, investors, developers, and key stakeholders from across the Caribbean, USA, Canada, Ghana, Latin America, and beyond. Connect the Real Estate Mega Summit aims to foster collaboration locally and internationally, share industry insights, explore the vast opportunities within Guyana's rapidly expanding real estate market. Attendees will have the chance to engage with influential figures in the industry, discuss future developments, and establish strategic partnerships that can drive growth and innovation. The government is awaiting feedback from Exxon Mobil on whether the disputed US $214 million flagged in the IHS market audit will go to arbitration. More in this report from Antonio Day.
On Wednesday, during a media briefing held at the Forestry Commission's complex in Georgetown, Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Barrett said that the government is awaiting feedback from ExxonMobil on whether the disputed $240 million in the IHS market audit will go to arbitration.
It's just writing off the amount from the cost bank, where once the government say this is the final amount, Exxon agrees, and we don't go to arbitration, then the $214 million come out of the cost bank.
He said that once both sides arrive at an amicable consensus, the country does not have to pay back the $240 million since the cost bank would be reduced. From the government standpoint, Barrett said that the disputed transaction was closed off at the $214 million figure and is up to the ExxonMobil if they want to resort to arbitration to pay the amount.
We have closed that at the 214 figure. I would have, based on advice, we would have written Exxon saying that this is the final report.
According to the minister, there is a time period given for the oil company to respond to the government's terms and conditions. In October of last year, the Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA, stated that the $214.4 million in disputed ExxonMobil oil expenses, as identified by UK audit firm IHS Markit, be accepted as the final figure, and government agreed. Turning attention to reports of him, Barrett, and other officials in public office having a sinister motive during the audit process by the IHS Markit for revenues incurred during 1999 to 2017 by ExxonMobil, the subject minister clarified these allegations.
In an audit, there is nothing to do with cash. There is no money involved in an audit. So when we say it's $214 million, it don't mean in any way $214 million will be transferred from Exxon to the Ministry of Natural Resources.
Antonio D reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
These nice prototypes go with proper things. Peppies, you get the best and least. Oh no, bless up.
Okay. Pack up these things. Yellow, you put the things in the car.
Loving you is easy cause you're beautiful. Do-da-do-da-do. I love you. And you, and you, and you, and you. I love all of you.
Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
And you. I love Peppies.
Until tomorrow.
Yes. I ain't start packing yet. Usually I pack a couple hours before and I go. Drive. I got my phone, I got my keys, my charger, my
Procrastinating planning for the future? Well, that's never a good idea. Let Demerara Mutual and Demerara Fire and General help you get started with planning for your future today. I'm with Dem. Dreaming of owning your own home? Then come into Hand in Hand Trust Corporation and turn your dreams into a reality. Simply apply now for a residential or commercial mortgage to either purchase, construct, or renovate a new building or an existing one. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, you'll get competitive rates, fast approval, and there are no hidden fees. So make an appointment or visit us today at 6263 Middle Street, Georgetown. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, Inc., a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Good evening, I'm Daisy Richards and welcome to Friday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Venezuela. Venezuela's ruling party-controlled National Assembly on Thursday unanimously passed a bill allowing the government to more tightly regulate non-governmental organizations, NGOs, amid criticism of a government crackdown on the opposition after a disputed July election. The law, which will require NGOs to report whether their donors are Venezuelan or foreign, was proposed in 2023 by Diosdado Cabello, the ruling Socialist Party's second-in-command. The passage comes just over 2 weeks after the country's electoral authority declared President Nicolas Maduro the winner of the presidential election, despite vote tallies published by the opposition, which show their candidate won a hearty victory. The text of the law does not specify what happens if the NGO receives international funding. The law warns that organizations that promote, quote, fascism, intolerance, or hatred for racial, ethnic, religious, political, social, ideological, or gender reasons, unquote, will not be allowed to register in the country. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, on Tuesday urged Venezuelan authorities to not, quote, adopt these or other laws that undermine the civic and democratic space in the country, unquote. Following the presidential elections, NGOs and bodies such as the United Nations have raised the alarm over a wave of repression, with over 2,400 arrests and at least 23 deaths. Human rights advocates also report that journalists and activists have had passports cancelled and warn of legal investigations against opponents and temporary bans of the social networks such as X. While in Jamaica, one of the men suspected of being a shooter in Sunday's mass killing in Cherry Tree Lane, Clarendon, was shot and killed during an operation by the security forces in the parish on Wednesday afternoon. He has been identified as Steve Smith, otherwise called Ticker or Flybrain. In a media release Wednesday afternoon, the security forces said Smith is suspected of being involved in numerous contract-related killings and other serious and illicit activities in Clarendon and other parishes. They say he was wanted by the Maypen police for murder for some time and was a person of interest in several other murder investigations. Members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Fugitive Apprehension Team and the Clarendon Operational Support Team reportedly went to the location in Osborne Store, Clarendon on Wednesday, in a search of Smith and other men who were suspected of being involved in Sunday's multiple murder. The police say there was a confrontation during which Smith was shot and injured. He was taken to the Maypen Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The matter has been reported to the Independent Commission of Investigations. The operation was part of a recently launched joint security operation led by the JCF in collaboration with the Jamaica Defense Force and a major organized crime and anti-corruption agency. The Cherry Tree Lane shooting left 8 people dead and at least 9 injured. Finally, news from Bermuda. Hurricane Ernesto on Thursday barreled toward Bermuda, where it threatened powerful winds, a dangerous storm surge, and heavy rains over the weekend after leaving hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans without power in its wake. Now a Category 1 Hurricane Ernesto is forecast to strengthen into a much more powerful hurricane before it reaches Bermuda late on Friday, a British island territory far out in the Atlantic, the National Hurricane Center said. At 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, it was located 495 miles southwest of Bermuda as it headed north, packing winds of 85 miles per hour, 140 kilometers per hour. By Saturday, Ernesto will have become what the NHC describes as a large hurricane, as its center passes near or directly over the islands, where it will produce up to 15 inches, 38 centimeters of rain, prolonged strong winds, flash flooding, and a dangerous storm surge. Only 11 storms have made direct landfall on Bermuda, an archipelago of 181 islands with a population of 64,000 since records began in 1851. Ernesto became a hurricane on Wednesday after leaving Puerto Rico as a tropical storm, where it battered the island with heavy rainfall. Images and video footage from the island showed floodwaters covering roadways, downed power lines, and destroyed homes and vehicles. As of midday on Thursday, some 410,000 homes and businesses, about a quarter of all customers on the U.S. territory, remained without electricity, according to Luma Energy, the Caribbean island's main power supplier. Ernesto was expected to stay well west of the U.S. East Coast as it traveled north over the ocean. However, the storm has forecast to produce life-threatening surf and recurrence across the region, the center said. Ernesto is the 5th named Atlantic storm of what is expected to be an intense hurricane season. Slow-moving Debbie hit Florida's Gulf Coast as a Category 1 hurricane just last week before soaking some parts of the Carolinas with up to 2 feet, 6 centimeters of rain. Hurricane Beryl, the first of the season, was the earliest Category 5 storm on record in the Atlantic when it swept through the Caribbean and the Texas Gulf Coast last month, killing dozens of people and costing an estimated $6 billion in damages. Thank you for watching. Have an amazing weekend. Until next time.
Photographer Karen Bruce found guilty of cybercrime. PNCR sides with GTU in rejecting government 10% salary increase offer. Systems being put in place to stop gold smuggling in Guyana. And businessman nabbed with 6.3 grams of a controlled substance. These are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I am Paul Moore. Thanks for watching.